Welcome to today's episode of Wellbeing with Neka. It's been a while. How have you been? I hope everyone is okay. If you're just coming across my video for the first time, this channel is called Wellbeing with Neka because I bring to you well-being topics as a psychology of mental health and well-being practitioner. We talk about things that can affect your physical and mental health, your relationships, your work life, parenting. We talk about everything and anything that can affect your mental well-being. There is a cankerworm that has been eaten into the very fabrics of human existence, and nobody seems to know, or nobody seems to be worried about it. This cankerworm has penetrated every aspect of our life, and worse off are our marriages and our families. People are giving themselves willingly to these cankerworms without even realizing the danger they are imposing on themselves or the danger they are making their existence, so to say, to be. What is this cankerworm? As you know, we'll talk about it in depth here and open your eyes to these things that no one else wants to talk about. This cankerworm is called smart devices and phone. In mental well-being and in psychology, there is something called phone snubbing or fobbing, which is a emergence of phone and snubbing. It's called fobbing. Phone snubbing has eaten so deep into our very existence, but people seem not to realize. A lot of marriages, a lot of relationships, a lot of parents-children relationships are damaged because of fobbing. What is fobbing? Fobbing is a situation where you inadvertently or unknowingly snub or do not give attention to the next person to you because your attention is focused on your smart device or on your phone. It is common, right? You think it's common. You think it's nothing. But that is why many homes, many marriages, many relationships, many children are going different ways from their God-ordained destination. When you are with someone and the person is trying to get your attention, and maybe after talking for a few minutes only get an or what did you say, because they have been attached to a smart device or their phone, it brings a feeling of not being wanted. Much as we may deny this, because most people are not the victim. Even the victims are culprits at some point. This brings a feeling of not being seen and not being heard in a marriage or in a relationship. When you're speaking with your children and their attention is solely on their smart devices or on their phones, this can also be called phone snubbing. People do not deliberately go out to start snubbing the other people in their circle because of phones, but it happens, it's happening, and nobody is talking about it. Nobody is talking about how marriages are breaking down because of this. Nobody is talking about how communications are having wider and wider gaps because of attachment to smart devices, to social media, to phone, to laptops, and to inanimate objects rather than the people you share space with. Phone snubbing is a thing in mental health. Phone snubbing is a thing in behavioral psychology. Phone snubbing is a thing in social psychology, which is why I am bringing it to you, because I know this, and you probably do not know this. What does phone snubbing do to our relationships, especially marriages? First of all, it creates a distance. It creates a feeling of loneliness. You're in a marriage, you're in a relationship, but the other person is more inclined to communicate with their phones than with you. You will feel lonely. You will feel rejected. And from that feeling of rejection comes a physical pain of hurt. You feel hurt physically. You feel the pain. If this continues or becomes a permanent recurrence in your marriage or in your relationship, you physically feel the pain when your partner is more readily available for their phones than for you. Phobbing or phone snubbing is a cankerworm that nobody wants to talk about, or let me not say nobody. Many people have not realized what it has done to them and what it has done to their marriages. There is always a reason to have your phone in your hand. If you're not doing your business, you're following some gossip on social media, you're trying to make your points, you're watching football, you're chatting, you're connecting with people, you're having a prayer meeting, there is always a reason to be found with and on your phone. Phobbing is very critical in mental health now because relationships are breaking down, emotions are breaking down, connections, human connections are breaking down because of attachment to an inanimate object. The thing is that the people who manufactured these things had you and I in mind. They had your attention in mind. They want us. The same way our partners want our attention, that is how the makers, the creators, the inventors of all these things that are taking our attention, that is how they want our attention. So it is now a battle between the person who has money, who has fun, who has technology, and the human who wants to talk to you, who wants to connect with you, who wants to share something emotional with you. And believe me, the person who will win is the one with the more money, more technology, more reasons, more ideas. The phone. Communication breaks down. There becomes a distance, loneliness, even when you're together. This leads to resentment, and from resentment, there is total emotional distancing between people who should be partners or who should be a couple. Sometimes this transcends to children and their parents, especially when children are given phones underage or unsupervised. Phone snubbing is a cankerworm that people have not realized how damaging it is. And for you to know how damaging it is, I want you to try an experiment. Agree with your partner to keep your phones away from you for 1 hour. No response to notifications, no stretching your hands to touch your phone. Just keep your phones away for 1 hour and try talking to each other. Unfortunately, when someone has been phobbed or snubbed because of a phone, the next thing that will happen is that person will also pick up their own phone. So in a home where two people are meant to be partners, they have their own separate partners, which are their phones. And before you know it, there is no connection. Before you know it, there will be no reason to talk to each other because either person is occupied with their phones. Phone snubbing is not something people set out to do. It is not a sign of bad upbringing. It's not bad character. It is an attack on our well-being. It is an attack on our psyche. It is something that some people sat down and worked on. They worked on the notification sound, They worked on the picture quality, the lighting. They worked on the things that can be shared. They worked on the secrecy. They worked on the privacy. They worked on the ability to lock your phone or lock your chats. They worked on all those things so that so that we will become more attached and feel safer with our phones. This cankerworm has eaten so much, so deep into us that we don't know, we don't realize. I'm sure a lot of people will begin to think deeply after they see this video. Is this what is happening to me? Is this why I'm being unresponsive to my partner? Is this why I am being unkind? Is this why I'm being unavailable? Yes. Your phone, your business, your chats, your prayer meetings, everything becomes more important than the one you share a roof with. There is a different kind of pain that comes from knowing that your partner is cheating on you with an inanimate object. This sounds funny, but it's not funny. You know, if your partner is cheating on you with someone physical, you know how to fight. If you want to fight for your space, you know what to do. But a phone, how do you start with a phone? How do you start with something that your partner will readily defend, protect over you? That is not human. That is how bad it is. So now that we already know what fobbing is, now that we know what phone snubbing is, what is the way forward? The way forward is what we call digital detoxification. And this will be a new topic altogether. I'm going to talk you through what digital detoxification is, how it can help your marriage, and what to do to achieve once in a while digital detoxification, because whether we like it or not, we can't run away from the digital age. We can't run away from our phones. We can't run away from our devices. But we can mend our marriages. We can mend our relationship with our partners. So if you have watched to this point and you would like to know what to do to remedy the situation, join me in the next episode and make sure you subscribe to this channel. Don't forget, this is Wellbeing with Neka. I talk about anything that will help your mental health, your physical well-being, and your nutritional health. Thank you for staying tuned. I hope again that you have subscribed. Drop your comments, share this video so that more people will benefit from what you just enjoyed. Thank you and see you in next episode. Bye. So now that we already know what fobbing is, now that we know what phone snubbing is, what is the way forward? The way forward is what we call digital detoxification. And this will be a new topic altogether. I'm going to talk you through what digital detoxification is, how it can help your marriage, and what to do to achieve once in a while digital detoxification, because whether we like it or not, we can't run away from the digital age. We can't run away from our phones. We can't run away from our devices. But we can mend our marriages. We can mend our relationship with our partners. So if you have watched to this point and you would like to know what to do to remedy the situation, join me in the next episode and make sure you subscribe to this channel. Don't forget, this is Wellbeing with Neka. I talk about anything that will help your mental health, your physical well-being, and your nutritional health. Thank you for staying tuned. I hope again that you have subscribed. Drop your comments, share this video so that more people will benefit from what you just enjoyed. Thank you and see you in next episode. Bye.